Hi, thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing. Been known by a few names: Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. And when I give the names that I've been known by, I mean in reference to far more people. You know, my son and my daughter, they of course know me as mom, mommy, that sort of stuff. But, you know, as far as like a more larger amount of people, that's the different names I listed. I mean, there's far more names that I've been known by over the years, but yes, like for the most part, most know me by those names. So I was just listening to Pastor Sam from the Gospel Gunslingers talking about females, and so there was this time many years ago that I had met this guy's dad, and it was the first time I met him. And the guy, as we drive up to his dad's house, he's like, "Oh, by the way, yes, just to let you know, my dad works for the government. You ready to meet him?" "Yeah, sure." Okay. That's all you're gonna... Okay, I'll get out of the car. Sure, you know. Alright. You know, working for the government means a whole bunch of... No, you're not gonna... Okay. So in my thoughts, it's like, oh, so you're just gonna tell me your dad works for the government when we're in the state of Texas. That's just what you're just gonna be like, "Oh, and here's your dad." You know, hey. But just gonna meet your dad who works for the government. Oh, okay. Sure. The state of Texas. Yeah, okay, sure. So then, you know. "Hi, I'm Susan." And, you know, I extend my hand to shake his dad's hand, who apparently worked for the government. And I was just like, "Yeah, thanks for your service to the United States of America." You know, since in the rest of that, in reference to what I was thinking, you know, since your son wants to only tell me that you work for the government, but nothing more than that, but you know, hi. Little last minute to find that out, but okay, hi. Not in a disrespectful way in my thoughts, just one of those, like, could have given me a heads up. It took a little bit of time to get out here. Oh, and you're just gonna go inside now. Okay, okay. So in my thoughts, that whole thing, just like, didn't say that out loud, just one of those, oh, okay, so I see how this is gonna go. You're just gonna leave me to talk with your dad by myself. Dad is good looking, and you could have let me... I mean, not that he would have looked at his dad like that. Nonetheless, just one of those, you know, you could have a few minutes before we pulled in the driveway, but sure. And so in the particular aspect of what Pastor Sam of the Gospel Gunslingers was discussing is in reference to nagging females. So I didn't say that out loud. That was all in my thoughts, where it's like, oh, okay, so sure, just go inside and leave me to talk with your dad after you drop a thing like, oh, okay, he just works for the government. Yeah, okay. Yeah, state of Texas. And so, oh, okay, fine, you're just gonna go inside, you're just gonna leave. And so, you know, I have not been the type who has nagged out loud, you know, for many reasons. Nonetheless, you know, so his dad looks at me and he's like, oh, do you want to sit down? And I was like, well, if you don't mind, I'll stand a little bit. Do you mind if I have a cigarette since we're outside? And the guy was just like, yeah, sure, you can go ahead and smoke. I'm like, cool, thank you. And so then he's looking at me. And he's mainly looking at my hair. And I had some of my tattoos. I had the ones in the center of my palms. This one, that one. And then I did have this one as well as that one, but not this portion, just the golden portion that's underneath that can be seen with fluorescent lighting. And so I see him looking and I'm like, so I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. And so I know what I look like is not the most normal for the state of Texas. And, I know he's your son, so you're protective of your son. And, I'm not a feminazi. And he just kind of, what did you just say? I said, I'm not a feminazi. And he looks at me and goes, what do you mean you're not a feminazi? And I was like, I'm not a feminazi. I believe in female rights and equality. However, I'm not one of those females who doesn't acknowledge the fact that there are certain things that males can do that females cannot, and vice versa. So I know what I look like. I know that in the state of Texas, someone that looks like me isn't the most, commonplace sort of thing. I get that there are plenty of people in the state of Texas who have tattoos, and plenty of people who are in the state of Texas who have different color hair. It's the combination, I get it. And the tattoo, it's a spirit, they're all spiritual tattoos. Like, I completely just go and confess, like, everything. Like, please don't be mad at me for looking like I do. Like, I do the best that I can. I had the head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. I deal with headaches and migraines. That's why my hair is short. The bright red, that has to do with like spiritual stuff and more of a feminine thing. And all of my tattoos, I know that they're different and I get that, but they all have spiritual meaning, and they're to help my memory issues and stuff like that. And so, I do appreciate you working for the government of the United States of America, but, please don't be mad at me because I look like I look like. And his dad just kind of chuckled and he's like, it's okay. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a feminazi. And he was just, okay, you're going to actually have to explain what you mean by feminazi. And I said, oh, well, I mean what I said. I know that I'm a strong female. I'm fairly independent. And I have a strong personality. And he kind of chuckled. And I was like, why are you laughing at me? He's like, yeah, I can kind of tell you've got a strong personality. Go ahead. I'm just like, okay. I believe that females can do a lot of things that they don't necessarily get the opportunity to. However, there are things that females are not able to do, just like there are things that males cannot do that females can do. And so I'm while I'm very much a various like proponent in regards to equality, I do acknowledge that despite certain things, there are certain things that females just cannot do that males can do, and there are things that males can do that females cannot do. And so, there are plenty of things that females can do that males never thought that they could do, and there are plenty of things that males can do that females never thought males could do. But there are still those varying differences where there are just certain things that either side, just can't do because that's just their biology. And it doesn't matter what surgeries, it doesn't matter what, as far as various things, that's just the way it's intended. And so please don't look at me and think that just because I look like I do and I am the way I am, that I think that I can do everything a male can do. I know that there are things that I cannot do that males can do. And so, please don't be mad at me for looking like I do. And the guy just kind of looked at me and he's like, I'm not mad at you for looking the way you do. I am a little taken aback by how just straightforward and to the point you are. And I looked at him, I'm like, well, you kind of were looking at me in a way, and I didn't understand it. So I just figured it was because of my hair and my tattoos that you were looking at me the way I look. And so, I was just explaining it. That's all. And the guy looks at me and he kind of laughed a little bit and he goes, it's okay. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You don't know how many people have looked at me in certain ways and I've been treated certain ways because of how I look. And this was back in 2010, mind you. Today is the 19th of June in 2020. So, there's a big difference in time with the amount of people who have tattoos and different color hair in comparison to back then. And then, the guy looks at me and he goes, okay, so, I have to ask, just, whatever. And so he asked a couple questions, and then I looked at him, I go, oh, by the way, and he goes, what? And I said, I'm a Republican. And he just, what? I said, yeah, I'm a Republican. And he goes, didn't you say that you were born in New Jersey? Yeah. I was born and raised in New Jersey, but my head injury happened in the Army. I had fought to be emancipated, so that way I could join the United States of America's Armed Forces Army branch. And so, I know what certain things are in that regard. And yeah, I'm a Republican. And he just kind of looks at me, he's like, really? Yep, I am a Republican. So then we started talking politics. And then like an hour and a half later, his son comes back outside. And in my thoughts, I'm thinking, well, it's about time you just, left me here all by myself with your dad. Damn, he's good looking. And I have a thing. Anyway, and so, we're talking and stuff like that. And, go on and later on, as time went on. So, in reference to what Pastor Sam had said in regards of the Gospel Gunslinger episode that I had listened to, in reference to nagging females, I have felt bad for males for so long. I cannot put it into the proper words in certain regards because I have not been able to understand certain aspects. I get that, there are female rights, and that is important. That is absolutely important. But the amount of times that I have listened to females whine and complain about just the most inconsequential, whiny, little, just stupid, non-important aspect. For example, can you believe she's wearing that? I mean, seriously, why is she wearing, the male is really gonna care? what another female is wearing, as long as he doesn't get caught looking and being like, hi. Just saying. Nonetheless, you know, in that regard, you know, in comparison to other things that are genuinely of importance, you know, your boyfriend, your husband, whatever, you know, he doesn't. Why would you annoy him about what another person is wearing? And then why would you go and complain when the guy goes and looks at the female you are complaining about what she is wearing? Why would you do that to males? And not that females are essentially the only ones who have done that, but realistically, how many times have you females purposefully set males up for failure? Oh, do you see what she's wearing? Do you see how she's wearing her clothes? Really? And then you want to go and yell at the guy for actually looking at the female that you just pointed out to what you wanted him to see. And then when he goes and looks and then, you know, doesn't, well, you know, then you go and yell at him because he looked at the female you pointed out to him to complain about what she's wearing. And then you put him in a situation where you go and ask, oh, well, do you think she looks better in that than I do? Really? 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 I am glad I have never done that to any male that I have been with. Whether I was with a bunch of male friends or with someone I was actually in a relationship with, I am glad I have never been like, do you see what she's wearing? How dare she wear that? Do you see what length her skirt is? Do you see what length her sleeves are? Do you see where her shirt is cut to? And then go and complain. Like, how dare you go and look at the female that I just pointed out to you? I mean, what, do you want to be with her now? Seriously, why would you do that to people? What is wrong with you? A lot is the answer. If you are that insecure in yourself, do not go and bring some, that is just one of many aspects that has really been annoying to me. As far as being, and I saw that in New Jersey. That was well before living in the state of Texas. Oh, look, she's wearing this. Can you believe she's wearing it? Well, why are you looking at what she's wearing? You just pointed it out to the guy. So of course he's going to look, because then if he doesn't look and doesn't see what, you know, you as a female go and point out to him, then, oh, you're not paying attention to me. You're not listening to what I have to say. Nag, 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 whine, whine, whine. Ugh. Ugh. I have felt bad for so many males over my lifetime, and I was only born in 1982. I felt bad for guys when I was living in New Jersey. Listening to that crap. Do you see what she wore to church? Do you see those heels? What do you think of those heels? Huh? So you just gave your guy attention to look at a female's legs and feet in heels, and then you're gonna go and complain because he's looking at her legs and feet in heels in a skirt. And then you're gonna go and complain to that same guy that you pointed that out to for him to look at. And then, oh, do you find her more attractive? And then you know he can't say the truth either way. He cannot say, well, actually, you know, her, you know, because then, but then if he goes and lies to you that you don't really mean that, you don't love me, you don't, I have listened to females who have done that so many times over the years, and I'm talking all sorts of ages. Because it's not like I didn't hear freaking adults say that to one another. when growing up, and not like I didn't watch a whole bunch of females do that throughout the different grades to the guys that they were dating. Or do you see what she's wearing? How dare she? What's wrong with her going and wearing that here? I mean, seriously, do you think that makes her look prettier than me? Do you think that makes her look prettier than me? Does her hair look prettier than my hair? Seriously. I can't even. I cannot put into just, that's just so, that's one of many reasons why I have felt bad for males. Because you got a bunch of whiny little females. Oh, I mean, look at what she's wearing. And then, you know, you keep pointing out this. She looks better than me, doesn't she? She looks better than me. You like how she looks better than me, don't you? You just care about her more than you care about me. Why do you look at that instead? You know what? I understand why males wear headphones. What? Oh. Huh? I really hope you forgot what you just were complaining about, because I still heard your high-pitched nagging voice. But what? I didn't get all of it because I was listening to whatever. Yeah. I have felt bad for males for so long. And that has only continued on because I just, and then, you know, and then you got the females who go and make false complaints, and that is, so as someone who has survived quite a bit of assaults, females like you, females that go and make false claims just because, I know it'll screw up his life, and I know it'll screw up his career, and you know what, you vengeful, it's just malicious, vindictive, pathetic excuse for flesh. If you willingly spread your legs, do not go and destroy another guy's life just because you're upset that you put another notch in your belt for how many that you've sat on. If you don't like the fact that you sat on that many numbers, maybe next time you should keep your legs closed. Instead of blaming the guys that you willingly chose to sit on. Because not just females, because there are males who have gone through assaults. It is difficult enough to go and discuss something like that. It is difficult enough to have people actually genuinely believe you when you've actually gone through that. Females that go and run their mouths and go and blame other people for assaults that they did not have makes it more difficult for those who have actually lived through such. You disgust every female that has ever made a false claim. I am disgusted by you. I know I'm not the only one. There are plenty of individuals who have wrongly had their lives turned upside down because of females who want to go run their mouths because they're upset that they spread their legs by their own free will choice. Whereas the females who actually have gone through assaults, who have actually lived through that, already have to deal with all of that. And then you stupid females that want to run your mouth because you were too quick to spread your legs. Just own up to the fact that you have another notch in your belt, and you may not like it, but you willingly did it. When there are females and males who have actually been assaulted, lived through that, and have difficulties with it, females that go and run their mouths saying that they whatever when they didn't, you don't know what that's like. So don't make it any more difficult for those like myself who have actually lived through that. I am not the only female who has lived through actual assault. And there are males who have lived through that as well. And they already have a difficult enough time as males to come forward with that. Females obviously have a difficult enough time to come forward. But there are also males who have endured that. And you females who want to go run your mouth. You know what? Here's an idea. Keep your legs closed. And that's coming from a female, so you can't say I'm sexist. You don't want to freaking have another number? Then keep your legs closed. And shut your mouth. And then don't complain to males. Oh, do you think that? No. Having lived through what I lived through, and having survived what I've survived, yeah, no. Females who go and falsely make claims, you disgust me. And there is no forgiveness for females like you who do that. By the way. So thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.